Okay, we're going to go over the best way to find the equations for your name graph. You'll see that I sketched my name out there. It's not perfect or anything, but what I did do is I put dots at places that I thought would be easy ordered pairs. I'm trying to make it easy on myself. I'm trying to not make it hard. You can make it hard if you want, but I'm trying to not make it hard, so I put points. The only thing I don't have yet is an XY axis. So this is something that you can choose. Where do you think a good XY axis would be for you to find all your ordered pairs? So me looking at this, I probably want my x-axis to be right at the bottom of my name so that all those dots are on the x-axis and I have points where I've got a 0 in it. It's going to make it easy for me. And for my y-axis, I might want right in the middle of my V, or maybe I want right at the very end of my V. But I'm going to pick a place that I think, and you know what, just for fun, I'll put it right in the middle of my V, just for fun. I'm going to pick a place that I think would be easiest for me to find the points. That's why I'm picking these. So it's going to be the easiest on me. Okay. Now, I am making a video, so if you need to go back and see anything later, you can go to that part of my video, as long as it works. Fingers crossed. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to label these ordered pairs. So this part, if I'm doing this right now, you could be doing that with your name. If your name's not sketched yet, you could sketch it right now. You could either grab some paper, which is the second drawer down, or open up the grid on Cami. Sketch your name right now while I do these ordered points or ordered pairs. So you're just watching me do it. Okay, I just went and put, you can just put it right here if you would like. I just went and put, can you still see? Okay, I just went and put all the ordered pairs. The two though that I didn't do was the C. And because this video is not about making the circles. Okay, so I'm just ignoring the C. If you'd like to do a C or a circle for something, that would be something that's extra. So I could make a video for it later, or we could just work on one-on-one. So what I did was I went through and I found every little point and listed the ordered pairs. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the equations, and I'm going to find the domain and range of each. So it might be helpful for you to color code these. If you're using Cami, you can go ahead and color code them immediately. If you're using pencil, you might want to wait and make sure that you're like all good with it before you start using a color on it. And by the way, I do have markers and colored pencils if you need to borrow. I'm using Cami, so I'm going to start color coding some stuff. I'm going to make this eye pink. So I'm going to do my work for the eye in pink. Okay. So I'm going to look at this eye first, and I look at it and I say, this is a vertical line. I should already know how to write the equation of a vertical line, but just in case I haven't learned it yet, look at the ordered pairs it's passing through, 6, 0, and 6, 3. What do I notice about those ordered pairs? They have the same X value and different Y's. Megan, do you know the equation of this by any chance? I know I just called on you and you didn't volunteer. Sorry. Aren't you the one that said they have the same X? Yeah, so if they have the same X, what is that X? 6. That's my equation for the vertical line. X equals 6. So here's my eye work. Here's my eye. Actually, I'm not doing the dot yet, but I'll do my dot later. Here's my eye without the dot. That's supposed to be an eye. It looks like a 1. It's pink. Okay. So my equation is going to be X equals 6. That's my equation. My domain is going to be the X values. So in this pink graph, if I were to list every single ordered pair that is graphed here, what X values am I using? This is a very simple answer, so don't think into it too far. Just the number 6. That's it. So my domain for this one is still just x equals 6. My equation and domain are the same for this. That's okay. And then my range. Remember, the range is the y values. Okay, I'm going to just write x here and y here. You don't have to write those. I'm just writing them because I want to make sure everybody knows what I'm finding. Okay, so my range is the y values. So I'm going to look at this line, and what y values am I using? I'm using 3. I'm using 1, 0, 2. I already said 3. Any other y's I'm using? Yes, I'm using anything between 0 and 3. Very good. So how I'm going to write that is a double inequality. I'm going to say my lowest y is 0 and my highest y is 3. And in between, I'm going to put the y. And then this double inequality always says less than, equal to, less than, equal to. It never says greater than, equal to, or you're doing it incorrectly. So when we do a double inequality, this is how all of them will be listed. Least to greatest, the variable in the middle. Gosh, I'm talking a lot about that. Like, probably going to use that a lot. Okay? That is my I. And that's all I have to put for my I. The equation, the domain, and the range. Let's do another part. I'm going to do the dot above the I. I'll make it blue. So I'm going to do the dot above the I. So here's my dot. That's what I'm doing, the dot. And it's 6, 5. That's not an equation because it literally is an ordered pair. So all I'm going to have for this is 6, 5. And now I'm going to, this is going to be crazy. I am going to write the domain and range because we need to understand what domain and range mean. So for the ordered pair, what x's do I use? Huh? In that ordered pair, 6, 5, what x's am I using? Just x equals 6, right? So that's my domain. What's the range for this one? What y's am I using? Just y equals 5. So I can't hear you guys all the way because of the masks, but I don't know if somebody just said 5 or they said y equals 5. I couldn't hear very well, but okay. But I want it to be y equals because we're saying the y values are only 5. So don't just put 5 down for the range, but y equals 5. Okay? So that would be an ordered pair. Now let's look at the k. Let's see. I'll make a red right here. Got a k. Got part of my k. You see the part of the k I'm going to do? So in my K, if I were, coloring all the pieces, I would also have like a vertical line, which I've already showed you, a vertical line. And then I would also have another diagonal line. Oopsies. I would also have another diagonal line. So I'm going to have like 3 parts to my K. I'm going to do the red part. So I'll just call this red K. Just trying to stay organized here. And the 2 ordered pairs for red K are 13, 2 and 15, 3. I have to find the equation. How can I find the equation through 2 ordered pairs? Step 1. Find the slope. Who was that? You? No, it was, who was it? Elijah? Good job, Elijah. Find the slope. So my step 1 is going to be m equals, it was on the board earlier, 3 minus 2 over 15 minus 13. So I'm doing y minus y1, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, so I get 1/2. So my slope is 1/2. Now what do I do? Point slope form. Y minus y1 equals, oh, I'm sorry. Anna, what are you taking pictures of? Am I in it?
No.
Okay. You want to move closer, dear? Sit right here behind Dimitri or behind Mame. Just come. Sorry, hun. It just makes me nervous when your phones are out because I do not want to be photographed without my knowledge. That's okay. Yeah, if you guys cannot see, please. And I even have a nice chair here. Join me up here. I'll pull this back up. Okay, here we were. So Amarian was telling me y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, I'm writing it there. You don't have to write it every time unless you want to make sure you have it memorized. Then maybe you should write it every time. Okay, so I'm going to plug in y minus, and I can pick whatever ordered pair. They're all positive. I'll just pick the first ordered pair. 2 equals 1/2 times x minus 13. Then I'm distributing. So I get 1/2 minus, that's going to give me 13/2. Then I'm going to add 2. But when I add 2, I have to find a common denominator, which is 4/2. Get y equals 1/2. Oh, I forgot my x. X minus 9/2. So here is my equation. So all that work was to get my equation. Then I have to do the domain and the range. So remember, our domain is the x's. And I'm going to look at the picture for my domain. And I'm going to look at my ordered pairs. Oh, I lost my x-axis. When I erase something by accident, I erase the x-axis. I got to get that back. There. So I'm doing the domain, and I'm going to look at the x values. And looking at the x values, I'm looking over here. Oops, that's not. I'm looking over here at the two x's, the lower x and the higher x. My domain is going to go from 13 to 15. There's two numbers. Do you guys see where I'm finding those x values? From the ordered pairs. So my domain is going to go from 13 to 15. That's going to be a compound inequality. It's going to look like 13 is the smallest, 15 is the largest, and these are x's. And then I do less than or equal to for both. That's my domain. And then my y values are the range. So I'm going to go back to my ordered pairs. And I'm looking at my y values. What is the smallest y? 2. And then the biggest y is 3. So for range, I do 2 to 3 of the y's, and then I put less than or equal to. Okay? So when you write your domain and your range of your letter, wait, let me go back further. Domain and range of all lines, I'm just totally going off on a random tangent here. Not really random, but all lines, linear. Whoop, that did not write. There we go. All lines, domain, remember, is the x's, is the left to right. And in this picture, all lines go all the way left and right. So the domain is all real numbers. And then the range for all lines is how far down to how far up. That's also all real numbers. But to make my letter, I have to chop off the ends. I have to make my domain and range only go from specific intervals. So when you write your domain and range the way that I wrote them here, that's how you are saying that the line has to start at 13 and end at 15. That's going to chop off and make sure that your letter isn't a line that goes on forever. Okay? I have like one more in here that I didn't do yet, and that would be like a horizontal line. Oh, I don't have a horizontal line. So my name you couldn't use because I don't have a horizontal line. What has a horizontal line in it that I could stick in here? Ooh, my middle initial. How about my middle initial? No, but good guess. It's a L. I'm gonna move this. Let me see. All right, I forget how to move it. I think I have to select it first. Nope, no. Sometimes I hate Kimmy. Come on. Come on. I'm trying to move this guy back. Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you. Okay. So my middle name starts with an L. I'll stick that in there. Nope. Nope. I didn't hear the third one. It's named after my grandpa. That helps. No. Larry. Oh, somebody got it.
I did?
Yeah. Yeah. My grandfather was Luigi. Oh, you told her. You knew him? You knew Papa Louie? Did you know Papa Louie? Yeah. He died when my son was 1, so 10 years ago. You remember that? It's sad. All right. So here's 17. I'm just counting 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's supposed to be a 0. And then 23, 24, 25. Okay, so I made an L. I'm not going to do the vertical part because we already did that. I'll just do this horizontal part. And I haven't used purple, so I'll use purple. So this is the L, but it's the bottom part, the purple part. So this is a horizontal line. How do we write equations of horizontal lines always and forever? Who can tell me? Dimitri. Y equals, and what is the Y value here? 0. Very good. So Dimitri, while I have you, can you help me with the domain and range as well? Okay, so let me just write the word domain and range. So the domain would be the X values. Mm-hmm. So tell me what I'd write.
It'd be 22 is less than or equal to X less than or equal to 25.
Very good. So if you couldn't hear him, he was a little quiet. He said 22 less than or equal to X, less than or equal to 25. So we're using those X values. We're going least to greatest. And then the range.
0.
I don't just put 0 though. No. 0 is part of it. Just Y equals 0. Yeah. Because that's the Y values are 0. Okay. You have a question, Amarian? None what? Oh, you don't have a question. Oh, but you don't. Okay, so you guys aren't doing my name. You're doing the name that you chose. If you have questions, I am here to work with you today in class. But you need to do this stuff for every single little section. Every single little section. And then remember on the rubric, you have to have minimum 2 verticals, minimum 2 horizontals, minimum 4 diagonal lines, and 1 absolute value. That's the minimum. And 5 letters, minimum. You do extra if you want to know how to make a C, like I have a C there. That's extra. We can work on that. You have a question? You just ready for that? Okay, so video off. We're good? All right.